Hi everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new poll that has come out of the state of California, this poll from Emerson. Apologies for the slower uploads in the last few days, it's been very busy for me currently. So California, the California Democratic primary is shaping up to be a three-way race. Joe Biden is tied with Bernie Sanders at 26%, and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is at 20%. A significant drop is seen between this tier and the next group of candidates. Entrepreneur Andrew Yang is in fourth at 7%, followed by Kamala Harris at 6%, Beto O'Rourke at 5%, and Pete Buttigieg at 4%. Every other candidate is at 2% or less. So, taking a look at this graphic here, right now Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders in the lead in the state of California. This is very interesting, a big shift that we've seen. In California, Secretary Hillary Clinton won the state. Now Bernie Sanders in the running to be tied there with Joe Biden, and it's different to what we've been seeing in the national polls, where sort of Bernie Sanders has been with Elizabeth Warren instead of in that tier with Joe Biden. Sanders and Warren have been in that second tier national polls, Biden at the top, and then sort of there are a variety of other tiers who I won't go into right now. But California Democratic primary will be held on Super Tuesday, and as someone points out, Senator Kamala Harris is in trouble in her home state. She is at 6% in her home state. That is not good at all. If you're at 6% in your home state, it doesn't look good for you to win nationwide. It could have a similar fate to Senator Marco Rubio, where after he didn't win his home state of Florida, he dropped out of the race. Again, we've discussed this a lot. Sanders' support comes from younger voters. Biden's support comes with older voters, as you can see there. But what I'm really interested in, there are really two things that pop out at this poll that are different from the national polls. First thing, where Bernie Sanders is at. He's at 26%. That's impressive. I mean, for someone who's polling nationally at, I believe, 16%, that's pretty good to be tied for first place when nationally you're in third place. And so it's going to be interesting to see if this is just one poll or if he can sustain this momentum in the state of California. And again, it's especially interesting given that Hillary Clinton won the state in 2016. And so Bernie Sanders at 26% is interesting. Warren starting to fall behind Sanders. We've seen in national polls that it's Sanders who's starting to fall behind Warren. But here, Warren is in a definitive third place. It's a plus or minus 4.7. So this is actually outside the margin for error. So again, that's very interesting to say the least. So that's the first thing, where Bernie Sanders is at. Or I guess there's three things that really pop out. Second thing, where's Kamala Harris? This is her home state. She should be in at least second place, but actually she's in a very distant fifth place. This is not good at all. Alarm bells should be ringing at this point. It is not good for Kamala Harris to be at 6% in her home state. And actually, if you do the math, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders both have over 4 times the amount of support as Kamala Harris does in her home state. So that's not good at all for Kamala Harris. And we've really seen Kamala Harris really sort of slumber along in these last few months. I mean, she had that fiery open with the big Oakland rally, and then it sort of faded a bit. Then she had the big first debate performance that shot her numbers back up. But then she failed to capitalize on both of those moments. So it's going to be interesting to see if she does get another moment, whether it's positive media attention, whether it's, positive debate performance, whether it's, getting into a fight and winning with Trump, any of those things, and she's able to capitalize on it. whether she's able to capitalize on it is going to be very interesting to see. So yeah, that is the Kamala Harris situation. But the third and final thing, and I think it might actually be the biggest news that should be coming out of this poll at all, Andrew Yang. I mean, look at that. He's at 7%. That is very impressive for someone, like, in all seriousness, who when he announced, no one took him seriously. Everyone thought he was a 0% person, just like many of these senators and Congress people who are polling at 0%. And Andrew Yang is polling at 7 times as high as Amy Klobuchar, who is a senator, Steve Bullock, a governor, John Delaney, a congressperson, like Tim Ryan, a congressperson, Marianne Williamson, maybe not as much, but Michael Bennet, he's polling higher than Michael Bennet, and some governors here. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this is actually the Andrew Yang who we're going to get, and who might actually turn into someone who has a serious chance of being the nominee. But I mean, like, yes, he is in a distant fourth, but a distant fourth place is very good for Andrew Yang. We just a few months ago he was at 1%, then he slowly sort of moved up to where Tulsi Gabbard is at 1.5%, 2%, and then up to where, you're getting into nipping at people like Buttigieg and O'Rourke's heels. And now he's at 7% ahead of Kamala Harris. That's very, very impressive for someone like an Andrew Yang. Obviously, he still has ways to go in order to win this primary. It's not likely he'll win, but and I'm not predicting he'll win by any stretch of the imagination, but I must say it's very impressive for Andrew Yang to go from 0% to 7% in a matter of something like 1 year maybe. And so it's going to be interesting to see whether he can continue that momentum going into the convention. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down your suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.